It's a simple product of American ingenuity. Our forefathers saw the invention of democracy through, and the good old spirit of the American people is just shining through in this Ford's machine. This vehicle has sold over 472,000 units. It's only bound to sell more. So many folks can't be wrong. Go.
Well, we just about had it with the mule and buggy. Can't get nowhere with the neighboring folks scooting here and there so fast. Been driving a Model T for the last 6 months and seen our profits rise ever since. We just drive from one market to the next. It's practically a miracle.
Go.
Blind pigs, blind tigers, she-beans, these unusual terms have all come to serve as trade-off words for the sinister speakeasy, an establishment where patrons desperate for drink can come to get their illegal fix.
Go.
Explain the nature of the typical speakeasy.
It's actually kind of funny. They call them speakeasies on account of what all the serving girls started whispering when the cops are coming in. It's code for putting the liquor under the counter and playing off like nothing's going on. Speakeasy, see?
What's the atmosphere?
Well, it's a nasty place. They've got that loud music and all the girls dancing in their short skirts and odd haircuts. Absolute den of vice.
What has been the impact of these establishments on the local neighborhood?
Now, folks are going to get their booze wherever they got it. But these places, they just pull in all sorts of nastiness. Heard there was a gunfight not 2 doors down from one of the place, and 2 days later, then the place was raided out. They're just beginning to, all the young folks in crime and who knows what else. They're the depravity of this decade, I tell you.
We staked out New York's notorious redhead, raided for the 2nd time this past October, for a word with one such pilgrim. Sir, excuse me.
Get out of here.
How often do you come here? Is alcohol sold at this establishment, sir?
Look, lady, the Redhead is just a music club, and anything worth seeing here.
Is the mafia involved in the management? Are immigrants degrading our society now through these?
Now, don't go poking around in that. They do what they want. No crime and complimentary chaser here and there. We ain't doing anything foul here. There's a dress code and everything. This is one upper-crust establishment. Now, if you'll excuse me. Whoa, I didn't see it there. I think we should do that again. I think we're gonna push.
We staked out New York's notorious redhead, raided for the 2nd time this past October, for a word with one such pilgrim. Sir, excuse me.
Get out of here.
How often do you come here? Is alcohol sold at this establishment, sir?
Look, lady, the Redhead is just a music club, and anything worth seeing here.
Is the mafia involved in the management? Are immigrants degrading our society now through these?
Now, don't go poking around that. They do what they do. No crime and a complimentary chaser here and there. We ain't doing anything foul here. There's a dress code and everything. This is one upper-crust establishment. Now, if you'll excuse me.
This is Sabrina Ross reporting from the Redhead.
Good evening. Since the passage of the long-awaited 18th Amendment, liquor and alcohol has disappeared from the grocer's shelf and leafed off the conscience of our families and children. However, in the seediest part of this great nation, the nasty habits persist. Sabrina Ross has more in an in-depth report.
Sabrina Ross reporting live from a studio situated in Holly at La Brea Avenue, where I am face-to-face with the founder, the infamous Charlie Chaplin. Hi there, Charlie. How are you doing on this fine day?
Hello, Sabrina. I'm doing just fine. How about yourself?
I'm wonderful. I was watching you dance here earlier, and I've heard a lot about your dancing and wanted to do a little research on this so-called talent you have. So why don't you start off by telling me a little bit about yourself?
Well, Sabrina, I was born April 16th, 1889 to 2-stage fanatics. We're going to have to redo that. Well, Sabrina, I was born April 16th, 1889 to 2-stage fanatics. It was difficult growing up because my father died before I was 10 and my mother was very ill. Luckily, I inherited great talent from both of my parents and made my stage debut at 14, dancing in the supporting cast of Sherlock Holmes when I was 14, and I have worked my way up to the top ever since.
Wow, sounds interesting. Now I understand you founded this studio? Well, what exactly has gone on within these walls? Anything recent?
Well, in 18, I produced my first film entitled The Dog's Life, and after that, on behalf of the war effort, I produced a film entitled The Bond. These walls hold the work of many, many films I have created and a few books I've written.
How do you feel about your accomplishments?
I feel wonderful. I feel as though these are the greatest things that this country has encountered in a while.
Well, I'm going to have to disagree with you a bit. This modernism going on and these new great ideas of yours are corrupting this country. People are less conservative than they used to be, and this can only go downhill from here. Don't you agree?
I believe that this country can only go uphill from here. I've produced some of the most popular films that anyone has ever seen, and the people of America could use a little corruption. How else are we going to expand our culture?
Well, that's all for today, folks. I see we have a slightly perturbed Charlie Chaplin in the house. I'll see you next time when I make my journey through the streets of the Flappers. Bye! It's me again, Sabrina Ross, out here where it has struck 6 o'clock in America, and people have gathered around to watch these newborn women. They name themselves Flappers. Excuse me, sir. Do you mind if I ask you a few questions on these happenings right over here?
Oh, no, not at all.
All right. Well, what's your name? You from around here?
My name is Abraham. I live about 30 minutes of here, but I'm originally from New York.
Well, nice to meet you. I'm Sabrina Ross, reporting live from Midwest Studios. I was wondering, do you know about these women over here? Who are they?
Oh, yes, them. They call themselves the Flappers, otherwise known as the prostitutes. They are constantly dancing in the streets in their horrifying short dresses and unacceptable bobs for a hairstyle.
Ah, I see. They seem to have such a carefree attitude about them. Are they well liked around here?
Well, most of them seem to like them and take part of their contributions to modernism, but others, such as myself, think it's more of a working from the devil.
Now, you said horrifyingly short dresses. Do you think that they are more of a corruption to society rather than a contribution?
They are nothing more than a corrupting bunch of women who drink, smoke, drive automobiles, wear too much makeup, and treat sex too casually. They wear inappropriate and revealing clothes and have given such a name to the women of this country. Their dancing is too vulgar for the traditional taste of most people. I don't think they're doing any good for us.
Well, there you have it, folks. These flappers, or prostitutes, seem to be way out of control. Is this what America has come to? Oh boy, we are in for it. This is Sabrina Ross signing out. See you next time.
Now we go to Brooke, who has more on the St. Valentine's Day Massacre. Okay, you say,
Yeah.
and Brooke, how did this act of violence happen? Answer. Did anyone hear gunshots? Answer. Do we know any suspect that may have planned this brutal attack? Answer. Thank you, Brooke.
Thank you, Alex. Behind me, as you can see, are the 7 bodies of George Bugs Moran's men. This is one of the many scenes across America. The war for power, fame, and money between the gangsters of the world. Right. Detectives believe that the men were killed, were lured into the warehouse with a proposal of some sort. Instead, they were shot down. We are trying to get more information on this as we speak. Well, witnesses say they just heard gunshots in a nearby warehouse where the crime took place, and were about to call the police when they saw 2 policemen walk out with 2 other men in custody, and thought it was just a firefight taking place. We don't have an exact match, but we do have a lead to believe... Can you pause her? We don't have an exact match, but we do have a lead to believe that Al Capone may be involved in the killings.
3 words, Ku Klux Klan. We are reporting to you live from the heart of this ongoing fascist movement that these extremists have brought upon us in Washington, D.C. They may seem notorious with their inadequate actions, but oh wait, here's a Klan member to interview. Why the white supremacy? Does the Klan seem to have a lasting future? How many members are currently in the Klan? Where did it all start? Do you believe your questionable acts can be considered terrorism? And the most important question to all the viewers, why do you burn crosses?
It all began in the heart of Tennessee. We burned the cross to spread the light of Christ into the world of ignorance. These politicians may find our actions as immoral, but we favor our emergence as a high sign of optimism. We speak for the great mass of Americans of old pioneer stock. We speak our word with full pride and utmost noblest attitude. Through our significant progress, we will put an end to the dreadful radicals and unfortunate Catholics. From Oregon to Washington, our Klan will remain strong and defeat the opposing activists. 5 million strong, willed characters will continue to defeat those opposing activists.
Thank you for answering those questions. I can see that this movement is growing rapidly. We have just been informed that the Ku Klux Klan is currently reaching a peak of 5 million members. This Klansman seems to stop at nothing. Their motivation is going to make them one of the biggest organizations to date, possibly become a party at this rate. We'll back to the studio.
Breaking news. Babe Ruth has just hit a home run record. 60 home runs for your new team, the Yankees. Can you believe it? 1927 could be a better year for this young man. Here we are to interview the Baltimore man himself, Babe Ruth. Ruth, how does it feel to be such a successful baseball player in such a great decade? I'm sure many of you are wondering how much money a superstar like you has earned. Are you nervous about playing again in the World Series? Your outstanding efforts will surely bring the Yankees their first pennant.
Well, being only 26 and have millions of dollars is what has made this accomplishment so special. I still have many years ahead of me and can see what my efforts can do in such a powerful league. I wish to continue playing the way I do for my team and get a deserved gratitude from winning a championship. I appreciate all my fans and wish to play even better these upcoming years for you guys. I see playing in the World Series again against the Cardinals as just a simple rematch.
You are a hero to these people, Ruth. We can do nothing but thank you for making history. You will truly be an American icon if you continue your skill, bring records with the Yankees, and starting new traditions for this young team. How do you see yourself in the years to come? Do you feel any different now that you're considered a legend? Do you see yourself breaking more records?
I will hope to continue playing for the Yankees and improving my skill amongst these special teammates. I feel more proud of what I do and determined to win championships with my given title as a legend. I hope to continue setting more high standards for this beloved sport, but I must now go and practice.
Thank you for your time. Well, you heard it from the one and only Mr. Ruth himself. Stay tuned for more updates on the magnificent player.
I'm here in Dayton, Tennessee, place of the Scopes trial, where John Scopes, a high school biology teacher, stands accused of teaching evolution. I have here William Jennings Bryan, former presidential candidate, colonel in the Spanish-American War, former Secretary of State, former member of the House of Representatives, and now prosecutor in this case. And Clarence Darrow of the ACLU speaking for the defense. So, Mr. Bryan, you're arguing that the word of our Lord in the Bible is the truth, correct?
Yes, that about sums up my entire case.
And Mr. Darrow, what is your case again?
I'm not exactly a big city lawyer. Like my opponent, never did I run for president and all, but my arguments are basically saying that we shouldn't turn away from the truth just because some book we have no proof or say so.
Thank you, Mr. Bryan. Isn't it true that Mr. Darrow's defense files in the face of traditional Christian beliefs?
Well, yes, that too is one of my arguments.
Do you have anything to say about that, Mr. Darrow?
Only that said literal believes that impossible for any rational man of learning to know.
Mr. Bryan, where are you going?
I will not sit here and let him slur the Bible before the trial has even begun!
Any more words, Mr. Darrow?
Yes, some may be confused as to why I've taken this case. It is because we have the purpose of preventing bigots and ignoramuses from controlling the education.
Any more words, Mr. Darrow?
Yes, some may be confused as to why I've taken the case. It is because we have the purpose of preventing... Yes, some may be confused as why I've taken this case. It is because we have the purpose of preventing bigots and ignoramuses from controlling the education of the United States.
Thank you.
And now, for the trial of the year. Sacco and Vanzetti, two immigrants, came into our country, murdered our people, and stole our money. These are the type of people we are letting into our homes every day. We let them do what they want. We then have to pay for the price of their actions and blame them. They try to rebel against our government while we are supplying them with our money so they can take it back home again and use it for whatever they want. They were accused of murder and were both put in the electric chair for sentence of death. This is now two less anarchists we have to worry about. We should close off immigration and leave the country and only live in the country of natives, people that have been here, no immigrants. This is Alex Arifov with my turn. Thank you.
I'm on location in the Senate inquiry on the Teapot Dome scandal, where Secretary of the Interior Albert B. Falls stands accused of taking bribes to lease out naval petroleum reserves without bidding. I'm here with Senator Thomas J. Walsh, lead investigator of the inquiry. Senator Walsh, how could any man be as callous as you claim Secretary Fall to be?
Oh, that's rather simple. Men are rather greedy, and we have reason to believe that he received quite a lot of money.
Tell me, is it true that the so-called Ohio gang is also implicated in the case?
I suppose...
So could it be possible that there is some culture of corruption spreading here?
Oh, that is a possibility, yes.
Would you say that this scandal happened due to the degradation of the traditional American value?
That would be one way to put it.
Do you expect anything to come to light in this investigation?
Thank you. Indeed, I do. Fall may cover his tracks rather well, but there are still some questions that we will continue asking until they are answered.
Like what exactly?
Well, for example, how has cattle ranching operations someone managed to double in size over a period of 1 month?
Thank you, Senator Walsh, for your cooperation in this terrible scandal. I wish you a speedy victory. Back to you.